First story. 11 years together, and married with 4-year-old kid. Suspect wife is cheating or has someone else. I have been going through a weird separation but still living together. I was flushed with work over the last year that I didn't notice she took off her wedding rings in August of last year. I never wore mine 'cause of work, scared of losing a finger. So she started acting weird and distant in the fall, which started my suspicions. She made a close friends group on Instagram and posted more of her body. She didn't want to bring me to Christmas dinner at her work and then went to a hockey game with people from work. She still had her location on and she was somewhere not where she was supposed to be and delayed answering FaceTime. That's my first real case where I felt I caught her cheating. But she won't admit it. Then she'd bought a bed for her mom's house, a mattress and everything she need to live there. She kept buying stuff from Dec to March, but never actually left me. I started taking tests in May and got really emotional. I saw a receipt in her car for a diner and 2 meals, and she said she did something else. I went to the diner the next day and got camera footage of her having lunch with this dude. I snapped and put her stuff to her mom's house finally. It lasted about 2 weeks, then we started living together again. I found it was the guy from work that she had in her close friends group for a while. She said it was nobody and still refuses to confess to anything. He's named Mr. Nobody in our arguments. She made her profile public and posts bike and pics on weekend when we swim with our child. We have been living together. She's not hot for me and she's cold at times, says her ass is not mine and anytime so ask her about us her only answer is I don't know. I have an AirTag in my wallet. I forgot it in her car on weekend and Monday around lunch saw she was at a restaurant midday at work. I showed up and she had left her car there and went elsewhere. I FaceTimed her and she was at job DT but refused to tell who she went with. I waited to see who would drop her off and she was sneaky enough to hit it. Told me how she's over me tying tracker and there is no one, it's all in my head. I don't want my daughter to be a product of divorce, but at the same time I want to be loved. We have sex together still a couple times a week where she initiates at times. But she sleeps in the kids' bed rarely with me anymore. Like if she's 1 foot here and 1 foot there, is there any way I can get her back fully or is it a lost cause and should separate indefinitely? Some friends suggested check her phone, probably proof there, but I don't really need it, she already cheating. I'm so sad my situation, I don't deserve this because it's not my fault. It is not about who am I or what I have or have not done in our marriage. This is all about her selfish choices to do something that she knew is wrong. She is doing it intentionally, and she knows it will be emotionally devastating for me when I find out. If she blames me for she is deflecting blame. In a marriage if one partner is unhappy, then they communicate with their partner and work it out or get divorced. I won't get an attorney and start the divorce process so I can stop it at any time. It's just to show her I will not put up with her cheating. My friend also told me present her proof I have started the divorce process and tell her I know she is cheating and that this her one chance to tell me everything come clear. Then tell her that the only way you will not go through with the divorce is she doesn't admit to the affair. Tell me everything. And that if you find she is lying or doesn't tell me everything I will and I find out there will be no stopping the divorce. Then shut up and listen as much as I'm tempted to say something. Keep silent until she either refuses to tell me or she starts telling me. I won't interrupt her or take the bait of her trying to start an argument, just don't engage at all. Have a bag packed because no matter what happens I are leaving for at least a couple days. If she refuses to tell me don't engage, just tell her I know she is lying and I need to get away for a few days. To focus on getting the divorce paperwork done without distractions. If she discloses the affair don't react no matter how much I want and tell her I need to leave for a couple days to think things over. He reminded me, not getting emotional and not engaging is critical. I need to show that I'm more emotionally disengaging. I can have a breakdown in the car and at wherever I'm going out of her sight. Finally, once I walk out the door, I'll no contact until I'm come back. Do not answer the phone or reply to text messages, just use them to gather more information. After that, it is up to I to decide what I want to do. I can take time to decide, but stop having sex with her and get tested for STD. Moreover, I feel like she's avoidant. I think if I want to be loved, then it would be good to end things. Sometimes when it's one-sided, it's not worth it, to be honest. However, it's really up to me. At the end of the day, sometimes it's better to start all over. I say this because I thought I and my ex were going to last, but instead she had someone on the side. She constantly lied to me for 2 to 3 years and eventually told me she has feelings for the other guy. I was devastated and felt like my world ended, but eventually it's okay. I'll never know until I try, and it's better than listening to white lies or what she says. Sometimes people don't come clean because they want both of the best worlds. Sometime I think it's over in her mind. She broke the 3 rules: trust, respect, and honesty. It's toast. I gotta roll out. I go gray rock on her. Ignore hard. Do a full 180. No contact. Take care of our child and myself. She can fuck off with work guy. What kind of douchebag tries to seduce a married woman? He knows he's ruining her marriage and her family. He proves he's a lowlife. She proves she can't manage boundaries, shows a lack of commitment to her husband. She is weak. It's very unattractive. Second story. Wife and I both cheated on each other. Advice: I don't really want to get into the details, but basically, I cheated on my wife by having a one-night stand 5 years ago. I voluntarily confessed it to her the next day because of my guilt. I also wanted to be fair and give her the chance to decide to stay or go. I take full responsibility for my failure to honor my commitment and cause her such pain. Fast forward, my wife just confessed that she had a 4-month-long affair 3 years ago. 2 years after my confession, she said that she still harbored resentment against me but didn't fully realize it. She thought that repressing those feelings is what forgiveness was, so she never actually dealt with the pain. That being said, she didn't go into the affair purely out of resentment. It just started as an innocent platonic coworker relationship which she naively allowed to go too far. She was raised fundamentalist, has been sheltered most of her life, so I understand. However, she said that her resentment for my infidelity served as a false justification coping mechanism once it went too far. She says she's sorry, and it's not something she would ever do again, and I can sense the remorse for the action. But she sorta acts as if I don't have the right to question why she took so long to confess. She also doesn't think I have the right to try to fish for more details given my past. She also says that I've always had trust issues, so I need to deal with that myself. So one hand, I believe she's remorseful, but she acts as if her actions shouldn't reasonably cause me to feel untrusting. I'm far from perfect, but I'm not unreasonable. I honestly just view this as what I deserve. I don't think it's right to sit on a high horse and condemn her for something that I've also been guilty of, especially seeing that my actions greatly contributed to her doing it. While I have chosen to forgive, I just have a question about building trust. Should I be concerned about the fact that she held the secret for 3 years? Is that likely an indication that I only got a partial confession? Or do some people just take longer to confess things? Given what I've done, should I just accept this as my fate, or do I actually have good reason to feel mistrust? Does the fact that she technically didn't consciously revenge cheat indicate that I should be wary of trusting her? I'm just a little confused and concerned. Update. Both is cheating, but a one-night stand isn't close to a 4 months affair. You have obviously the right to be angry at this, and don't have to accept it just because you did wrong 5 years ago. You didn't say much about you guys' relationship other than the cheating, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell a stranger to divorce. But one thing I can say, I that couple who just cheats on each other rather than just go different ways is something I will never understand. You guys' future doesn't look bright at all, but good luck, I guess. Okay. I honestly thought that distinguishing my ONS from her affair would be minimizing the pain that I caused her. But from the responses I see here, I do have the right to feel like what she did was worse. Damn, this is way worse than I thought. Based on how she's acting, she tries to make what we did equally wrong. I know cheating is cheating. We're swept it under the rug, and things festered. We need to go to individual counseling, and eventually, marriage counseling. I can't read her heart or mind. She's probably defensive, because now she doesn't have the moral high ground. She cheated too. That might be part of the reason she was quiet about it. That's just speculation on my part, and it's something that we need to figure out with an infidelity therapist. My answer might has been the least judgmental one so far. This could also be a possibility given her fundamentalist background. I notice her and her people always have a moral superiority complex, so this is new territory for her, actually being objectively wrong. But at this point, I'm not gonna stick around to find out. She lied to my face for 3 years, even had the nerve to constantly post pics of us on IG as if we were goals. I know what I did was wrong, but she's downright diabolical with this shit. And more, her attitude is not remorseful. How do I know how long it lasted, when it ended, who it was with? Do they still work together? I don't know what I've to forgiving. What she's telling me is probably not the full truth. It usually isn't. I was suspecting that she isn't telling the full truth. But then I thought, why would she randomly volunteer this information 3 years after the fact if it wasn't true? But some other responses are suggesting that she was probably gonna get outed and tried to get ahead of it. I feel so confused and hopeless right now because I'm realizing that this whole thing is a lot more complex than I thought. Of course I have a right, and so does she. She made the decision to forgive me and stay with me. I came clean the next day, and then told her everything that happened. She hid a months-long affair in which had to have started emotionally, which means she made choice after choice after choice to cheat and continue to cheat. We are both wrong, but her using my ONS as a crutch for her affair is crap. I want to turn off my emotions and be totally indifferent to her. Be short, give one-word answers etc. When she asks you what's up, I would say something like what I did 5 years ago was truly horrible. I made dumb choices and I held myself accountable immediately. I told you what I did, and I gave you the chance to choose what you wanted. You had every right to leave me then, but you didn't. You chose to stay and fix our marriage. I now find out that 2 years later you entered into a months-long affair. Meaning, you made multiple choices over a period of months to not only cheat on me, but have another relationship with someone else. Your betrayal took planning, deceit and lies. What I did was horrible, but I didn't lie to you. Your affair had to have started off emotionally, which led to you physically cheating. You somehow think blaming me for your months-long series of choices is okay. You think dismissing my questions is okay. You don't even appear to have remorse. The level of betrayal of your affair cuts deep. Once you forgave me, I dedicated myself to you and our marriage to make sure you never doubted me again. I can't say the same for you. You betrayed me, and then decided to hide your betrayal for years. Heck, I don't even know if it's done now, or if you still work together, or how it started or ending, or really anything. I'm not saying I don't understand how my betrayal could have played a role in your affair. Of course I do. I'm just saying that I laid out all of the information about my betrayal, and I confessed my betrayal immediately. I gave you the chance to make your decision to leave or stay. You took that decision away from me. You didn't, and still haven't, provided me with all the information about your betrayal, and by not confessing your affair immediately, you took my choice to stay or go away. Your affair is 3 years old to you, but for me, it just happened. Your behavior tells me that maybe ending our marriage is the best decision moving forward. I can't be with someone I don't trust. I get that maybe you still don't trust me, and that's fair, but again, we aren't operating on the same playing field. You don't want to provide me with anything to help me heal, to help us heal, and that is something that simply will not work. Something like that. That was brilliant and captures exactly how I feel. Knowing her though, she won't even let me get the first sentence out without cutting me off and throwing a tantrum. But I'm gonna stand my ground and make sure she understands this. Firstly, I know an ONS and a full-blown affair are two very different things. Plus, she has been lying to my face for 3 years. Now, she is trying to sweep her affair under the rug by throwing my cheating in your face. I won't be surprised if she only told me about the affair because she was about to get caught somehow. I am having a hard time seeing a future here. Divorce is a much better option here because neither of we will ever trust each other fully and just keep getting more toxic over time. Damn, I was afraid that might be the case. At one point, I did try to explain how one-night stand and affair are different, but she completely blew up on me. She said the fact that I try to make that distinction shows that I don't take her pain seriously. I knew that wasn't the case, but I didn't want to continue arguing. But it seems like she thinks that I should just roll over and accept what she did as a result of me. But it's so damn confusing because she does have moments of saying how shamed she is about what she did. Third story. Sudden change in wife's behavior. My wife, 37F, and I, 39M, have been married for 11 years and have 2 kids. She is a stay-at-home mom. Overall, our marriage has been good. Normally my wife would come to bed with me or shortly after, and even if she wasn't tired she'd stay up and read a book or scroll her phone beside me. For the past couple months she's started staying up late, like 2 a.m. late. Before she's generally come to bed around 11. I know she's up on her phone because I've gone down to check on her, and she's always sitting with her phone with the TV off. Normally not totally abnormal. But the last month or so she's bought push-up bras, which I've yet to see her wear, revealing clothes and tight shorts. Out of character for her. I've tried talking to her, but she says she just wanted a different look. She also goes on long walks when I get home to clear her head. An hour or so, always with her phone. Something just feels off. I don't want to snoop or spy, but the staying up late, sexy clothes. Am I paranoid? Wife total change of character, up all night on phone, sexy outfits. Update. It been 4 months my wife suddenly changed her behaviors, started workout and going out for walks, getting up at 3 a.m. to go on her phone downstairs and staying for overnight yoga maybe meditation sessions. I have not ideas about this activity and always on her phone. I suspect she was having an affair. I am not trying to say that this is definitely what's going on. These are 2 separate people and experiences, and there could be a perfectly innocent explanation for why she is doing what she is doing. I never have an experiences to go on, and that's what was happening in my situation. I will want to tell you is this: if she is having an affair and I confront her without evidence, she will deny it. Could end up she will guard up even more, and will be extra careful, so I'll never find out. Same if she realizes I'm snooping or trying to see what she's doing on her phone. If I want to find out for sure, I need to let her believe that I have no suspicions. She'll get complacent and slip up. It's a long game, but that's how I'll know. If she's not, still play the same long game and the reasons for her behavior will eventually become apparent. Maybe suggest that as she's doing so much walking, she should sign up for one of those challenges where you log your miles on something like Strava, and if it meet your goal in a month you get a medal. I won't gauge her reaction. If she's happy to do that and starts logging her walks, she's probably just out walking for exercise. If it's not an affair, could she be depressed? Yeah, I haven't confronted her or anything about suspicions as I've heard they hide it better. Could be nothing, could be something.